Hey, this is Ben Fraser. I'm the founder of Ready.Set.Van, and behind me I have one of our latest builds in this amazing blue color. This is a Promaster 159 extended with our Gramercy layout with some custom modifications made inside to it as well. So I'm super excited to show you this fan. It's awesome. So let's get started. All right, so at the front end of this sweet machine, we put this bull bar, which of course is gonna provide some protection if he's on the trail or bumps into something, but for mostly just looks cool. And there's nothing wrong with that. We got a set of KO2 tires on Method rims. Method rims are a nice lightweight rim, super great. KO2 tires, of course, are just like the most proven tire in the world, so that's totally awesome. We also did a suspension upgrade for him, and then above me, we've got an Orion roof rack with a Fiamma awning. That awning will come out about 8 or 10 feet. I've never measured it, but it's quite a ways. And then behind me here, I have the C.R. Lawrence window that we put into the slider, and I want to talk a little bit more about that. So these C.R. Lawrence windows have this one panel that awnings out, so it's really just this section that's going to be getting you the ventilation. So it's not a huge opening. I will say that it does move quite a bit of air through there. The reason I like this window in particular is because, number one, it has like a really nice look. Like it just looks like factory. Which I think is great. But the main reason I like this is because it's an awning style window, and you're gonna hear me talk a little bit more about awning windows, but you know, it awnings out like this, obviously. So, and the great thing about that is you can have this open, you can go to bed with your windows open, and if it starts raining, it doesn't matter. And that's a huge deal, not having to wake up in the middle of the night and think, oh God, I didn't close my windows. So like, for me, awning side windows are my preference every single time. But there are other options for the slider as well. So there's one that's sold through Van Windows Direct that has a section here where half of it slides over. So it's kind of like a slider style window. You know, the advantage of that is you can have that open while you drive, because obviously you can't have this open while you drive. So you can have that open while you drive, so that's nice. And you get slightly more, maybe 50%, maybe 100% more airflow size of the opening with that. So that's also obviously an advantage. You know, the disadvantage is, of course, if you leave that open and you wake up in the middle of the night and it's raining outside, it's also raining inside, so that's not great. And then a slight thing for me is I don't really love the way those windows look. I'm sure there's tons of people out there who disagree or just don't care, but that's just a personal thing. And then, you know, the last choice of window you could put in here would be just like a giant turn window. So, and I'll show you an example of a turn window on the other side of the van, but, and that would just be a huge awning style window that would give you like a, you know, it's the whole thing would be open. So that would give you maximum airflow. It's also so large that if you have that thing open, somebody could climb into your van. Not that I imagine anybody would do that, but that's that's something to think about. So anyway, there's like several different window options. We tend to do the C.R. Lawrence most of the time, and I think it's a great window. Let's head around back. So on the back here, we put a Fiamma bike rack and also just mounted up a spare tire for him. But the thing I really want to talk about back here is these windows in the back door. So these windows are relatively new, actually. I think they kind of came on the market maybe a year ago. And they are really nice. So again, it's an awning style window, so obviously I'm a huge fan of that. And they have just a nice big opening here, so just lots of airflow. Both of these come out really nicely. It has a screen that's built into it as well, which is great. And yeah, and what I also really like about these is when they're closed, I think they look great. I think it's like the most kind of minimal, they kind of almost disappear, which I think is really nice. So yeah, huge fan of these windows. These are made by Van Windows Direct. And it's a great window. It's a glue-in window, so it's a little more tricky to install, I guess, but it's good. And yeah, let's head around the side over here. I'll show you one more window. Okay, so this is the outside of our dinette window, and I'll show you the inside, obviously, when we're inside. But this window is made by Arctic Tern, and it's always been a great window. We've used Arctic Tern a lot, and just big fans of their product. They just recently, in the last couple months, released a whole new line of windows that are basically the same as their old windows, except with two like really awesome changes. The first is the old windows used to bubble on the outside. So because the window is two panes of polycarbonate, they do that so that it's insulated, and they are incredibly well insulated, which is really nice. But that second pane was always sort of on the outside of the window. It kind of bubbled out. Didn't look that awesome in that way. And then also the windows were just clear, they were untinted. And so the two main changes is they now tint these windows. You can get them tinted with the bubble is basically on the inside. They basically flipped the window around and mounted it in that way. So you end up with a completely flat outside that's tinted, and it's like such a huge aesthetic upgrade without really having to pay any cost in terms of functionality. It works exactly the same. So this whole thing is just super flat to the van, and I just love it. And I also just love that Arctic Tern is still improving their product. Like, I don't know, I just appreciate when any of the companies we work with, it's clear that they're still trying to improve what they do. And these guys did that, and so I'm pretty stoked on these new flat windows. All right, let's go check out inside. Okay, let's check out inside. So personally, I think this blue van with the warm walnut interior that he chose is just kind of like a match made in heaven. I absolutely love it. It's just something about it really, really sings for me. He chose to go with a acacia engineered hardwood floor in here. That acacia hardwood floor is like, has just such a beautiful luster to it. It's such a nice product to work with. And the other nice thing about it is it's actually very, very durable. So I have it installed in my van, and it's been through all kinds of stuff, and it's held up really, really well. We've never had to repair it, but if we did, it'd be very, very easy to repair, much easier to repair than a vinyl product. Where you don't really have a lot of good options there. But anyway, big fan of that floor. Of course, we also have the Roll-F bug screens here. So these are custom made for us by Roll-F for every single layout we do. We give very specific measurements, and they cut everything on a CNC, and it's like a fantastic operation over there. What's nice about these screens is you just roll this down, zip down the sides. It's got a magnet down the side, and of course you can operate that with one hand, no problem. So you can, if you're holding a drink, you can just open it, get it out of your van. The magnet seals everything up perfectly, so no bugs are gonna get in. And yeah, it's a great product, huge fan. The Roll-F screens are kind of expensive, but in my opinion, they're worth it. All right, let's check it inside. So this van is based off of our Gramercy layout, and the Gramercy layout, one of the nice things about that is we have a lot more space up front in the kind of hangout socializing space up here. And the reason for that is because we build on the extended platform, and we push the bed and the kitchen and all that back, and the shower back, and we use that extra 15 inches that you get with with an extended Promaster, and we just open up this space here. So what's really nice is, you know, once we have the, you know, the front two seats here spun around, we have more space over here in the slider. We have a lot more space kind of like all around, and it just feels more open. And yeah, I don't know, it feels great. It would, you know, hanging out here with, you know, 3 people, maybe 4 people would be, you know, really comfortable, really fun. So I don't know, so that's really kind of a nice thing about this. Of course, he chose to go with walnut accents throughout, and I just absolutely love like our clean white interior with the walnut accents. I just feel like it just pops. Big fan of that. Of course, this table is also one of those walnut accents, and this thing is incredibly solid, but it's easy to remove, and I love this table. There's just something so nice about a really nice wood table. I don't know, feels nice, satisfying. Over to my left here is the Arctic Tern window that we were looking at on the outside. This is how it works. You just open it up, there's a couple clicks, and it'll just sit there, and then when you want to close it, you just open it all the way up and close it back down. It has an integrated bug screen and an integrated blackout shade as well, so that's super nice. This van actually has quite a lot of storage in it, so you'll see there's like little storage spots kind of all over the place. But above me we got 2 of them right here. These got 2 overhead storage bins here. Down to my right here below this seat is an enormous drawer that comes out that fills up the entire cavity of the seat base of this. And then another big drawer under the platform over here that comes out. So lots and lots of storage, and we haven't even gotten to the back yet. So of course, behind me there is a computer monitor which they can connect to and do work or watch shows or whatever it is that they want to do. But that's nice. That also pulls forward so they can bring it closer if they need to. And then this seat that I'm in is a double belted seat. So you can get 2 people in here, not really 2 adults, not that comfortably. Definitely an adult and a kid would be fine. 2 kids would be fantastic. So it's kind of a versatile seat in that way. We can also do the single version of this as well, and the nice thing about that is you get a little more space in the hallway back. So anyway, that's just another option. The nice thing about both of those seats is that they also convert into a bed, which is really handy. So, and it's really easy to do. All you do is just pop the table off, And then we're going to fold the first part of the seat forward, and then we're going to kind of scoot the back and then fold that down and grab a pillow, and you're pretty much good to go. So it's a nice thing to have, you know, the ability to have sleeping for a third person in case you have a guest on board. But, you know, pretty easy to set it up. All right, let's check out the kitchen. Okay, and of course the kitchen also has this same beautiful walnut butcher's block that we used for the dinette table over there. Of course, everything is grain matched in here, so that just means that this piece was cut out in place. So when it goes back in here, all the grain and everything looks like, well, looks like it was originally there. Looks like it belongs there, which is just a nice little touch. And then of course our sink and our induction cooktop are also just flushed into the countertop. So it just makes for such a nice workspace, in my opinion. This sink is really great. This is our 15-inch Ready sink that we use all the time. It's really super. Of course, with this, we have an induction cooktop here. We can also do a double induction cooktop here if you want. I personally think the single is the way to go. And if you want to have a second burner, have a portable one handy. And then you can plug it in here, you can plug it in outside or something. So some people get concerned that you know, the bed over here is going to get like food splatter on it. So we always provide an acrylic kind of splash guard, if you will, that you can just tuck right in here next to your mattress, just in case you know you're making spaghetti or something and you don't want spaghetti sauce on your pillow. But I don't think it's really an issue, but I know that's something that people often wonder about. Of course, we have all our dimmers over here. Every light in the van is on a dimmer. This switch right here is actually for the that's the bypass for our electromagnetic locks we have for our cabinets. So every drawer in the van has a metal plate on the back that when the drawer closes, that metal plate contacts an electromagnet in there. And the fantastic thing is that basically when you turn the van on, all of those electromagnets get energized and all of these drawers get locked. And that's how we do our locking. We don't use any of those like push button things that you have to remember to check before you leave, or any of the other latch systems that personally I think are not that great. And we came up with this system and it's been absolutely fantastic. It's just amazing. And what's nice about it is you can just use your drawers just like you would at home. Like there's no special thing to do. You just use your drawer. And then when you go drive, they all lock automatically, which is just awesome. What also is great about that is if you forget to close one of your drawers, well, the first time that you go around a corner and this thing slams shut, it'll go in and it'll hit the magnet and then it'll lock as soon as it goes in. So really, really nice. So this switch is the bypass for if your van is running and you need to open one of your drawers for some reason, that'll just disable the locks and you can easily get in there. So super handy. This is our inverter switch. This is the Webasto heater control. And of course we've got some 110 outlet and 12 volt and stuff there. So super handy. There are a lot of other drawers here. We got lots of drawers throughout. I think this kitchen has 6 drawers in all. They're great. Plenty of storage there. And of course down here we have our fridge, which is a Dometic CRX80. This has been a great fridge. We absolutely love it. Never really had any issues with it. And then as always, we've also got a kick drawer down underneath the fridge, which is a nice little hidden little drawer that nobody really knows about. So it's a good place to put your passports, your drugs, your guns, your money, whatever it is you don't want people to find. It's a nice little spot. We can also install like a legit safe in your van, but this is just a nice little hiding spot if you just want to throw something real quick. So let's check out the shower. So the first thing to notice about the shower is that it's also wrapped in this beautiful walnut surround, which I think ends up creating like just a really nice accent wall. Yeah, so here's our shower. So this is, you know, typical Ready.Set.Van style shower where we do a molded acrylic interior, which is just absolutely lovely. It's just very glass-like. It's, you know, takes suction cups, so you can put all kinds of accessories in there really easily. And it's just bright and clean and really, you know, really nice to be in. Of course, we have a shower mixer over here for your hot and cold. And this is hooked up to a 4-gallon hot water heater. So that's good for about, you know, an 8-minute shower or something like that. Of course, it depends, you know, your mileage may vary, I guess. But of course, on the floor, we have a teak shower floor mat that's on top of our stainless steel shower pan that we have fabricated. So the whole thing is just incredibly solid, but the teak gives it just a really nice soft touch under your feet. So you just kind of feel the, you know, warm wood under your feet, you know, while you're in there. So Anyway, that's a really nice thing. They chose to go with the Trelino toilet, which is a great toilet. We can put just about any toilet in here, but Trelino is a perfectly good choice. And then the door on this operates just like that. And it's just great. Great little door, works fantastically. It squeegees off as it rolls in, so yeah, it just works great. Let me show you what is directly behind me, which are these wacky drawers that also turn into stairs for the bed. All right, the first thing I'm going to point out here, there's two ways to get up in bed. The first one is actually this little step right here, so that's easy to just put your foot on, boost yourself up into bed. But the other way, I'll show you in a second. Before that, we have this really large 26-inch drawer. It's huge. It's just a fantastic amount of storage space, which is really great. And then this bottom drawer locks all the way out. This is on, I think, 600-pound drawer slides. This is a 26-inch long storage cubby underneath, and then this becomes a platform, and this becomes a platform, also storage underneath. And now you got stairs to get up into bed. Pretty cool. In this bed area, we've got a full-size mattress. So this is an 8-inch thick foam mattress. They're super comfortable. It's a full-size mattress, so I believe that means it's about 75 long and about 53 or 52 wide, something like that. But it's just a standard full-size mattress. It is very comfortable. We put these nice padded headboards and footboards up here, so if your toes and your hands or anything touch the ends, it's super soft and cozy. So the whole vibe is pretty cozy. We have radio lights on both sides of the bed. They just click on and click off. There's also a USB port here as well if you wanted to plug something in there to charge like a phone or something. Totally good. Also back here in the corners, we 3D printed a Sonos mount that we made especially just for mounting it on the pillars over here. Inside that mount we put a wireless charging base. So these little Sonos speakers, you can just pop them out and pop them in. You don't have to connect any cables or anything like that, and they'll just always be back in the corner there charging, which is sweet. So it's nice if you want to pop one out, take it over to the campsite or something, you can. Also, you know, with these two big windows in the back doors, I think the amount of ventilation back here is going to be insane. So I think that's going to be pretty sweet. Of course, up over here we've got two overheads. These are really big, lots of space. Fill that up with clothes and things. You can also sort of see here, you know, all our doors are grain matched as well, so the grain passes through from one door into the next door. So again, just the little touches. And of course, over here we have this beautiful walnut wall, which is the outside of the shower surround. So yeah, that kind of wraps it up for the bed area. Let's go downstairs to the garage. One thing I haven't mentioned about this van is that it has an absolutely massive battery bank on board. So it has 1100 amp hours of battery, which is just a huge amount of storage. They're going to be able to go off-grid for extended periods of time, which is fantastic. And I know that's one of their big goals. So that's really fantastic. That battery bank is going to be charged by the 350 watts of solar up on the roof. It's going to be charged by the alternator via two DC-DC chargers, and then it's also going to be charged by the shore charging anytime you feel like plugging in. All you need is a regular household outlet, household extension cord, and just find a 110 outlet somewhere. So that's a piece of cake. The thing that powers all of our 110 outlet stuff inside the van is our inverter, and we have a 3,000 watt multi-plus inverter. That's a Victron inverter. It is the best on the market. It's fantastic, and it's a beast, and it's more than this van really needs, but it means you can run lots of things at the same time and not really have to worry about anything, which is great. When you're done using the van, if you want to just flip it off, there's a master disconnect switch over here. You flip that, that'll turn off everything in the van, so you don't have to run around and check on things. Most people don't use that, but sometimes it's handy if you know you're going to be leaving the van for a little while. And then we also have a 110 outlet back here, and then another 12 volt a 12-volt cigarette plug there, which I use all the time for various different inflatables. It's just really handy having that there. On this side, we have our water, our plumbing cabinet. We got 30 gallons of fresh water. We got a 4-gallon hot water tank. And the nice thing about this system is that winterizing it is a piece of cake. So all you have to do is flip one switch, a bunch of electric ball valves open up, and the whole system drains out by gravity. So really, really nice. It takes you all of like minutes to winterize your van. So that's especially nice during like the shoulder season when it's like it freezes a little bit, but you want to use it for the weekend. It's just really nice just to be able to like dump your plumbing system in a second. So that's pretty good. And of course, we also have an outdoor shower off the back as well that has a shower mixer, so it's got hot and cold water as well. So yeah, that kind of wraps it up for the garage. Let's head around front and finish her up. All right, that pretty much wraps up the tour of this van. I absolutely love this van. I love the color combo. I love a lot of the choices that the client made. And I love the fact that they're gonna pick this up in a couple days and go on a whole bunch of trips. And yeah, I'm really excited for them. So thanks for being here, really appreciate it. Any questions you have at all, drop them in the comments below and we'll try and get to them. But otherwise, I hope this was helpful. I hope this somehow brings you closer to figuring out your van life goals, dreams. And yeah. I hope you're having a great day. Thanks for being here. Peace.